Speaking about books, you have written over 40 books and over 100 articles. I mean, that's a lot. And that's a lot of research too.
Yes. And
As a matter of fact, one of the comments on the video on the previous podcast was that you are literally walking library, you're walking library. And I found it really fascinating because you know a lot about history, right? And in as much as it's very good to learn more about history and to know about history, but why do you think that most people are usually stuck on history and not looking on the present and what the future holds?
I'm not sure if that's true. I mean, as a matter of fact, people who don't know history usually don't know much about the present either. I mean, so uh, it's not accidental that when you go to a physician, a competent physician will usually try to take a medical history before making a diagnosis. They'll try to figure out what are the maladies that have afflicted your mother, your father, your grandmother, your grandfather, so that they can better understand you as a patient. And the idea that you can sort of understand the present without understanding what led up to the present is fairly ridiculous, and probably helps to shed light on why this small planet is in such deep trouble.
And this is something else that I found really fascinating. The podcast that we just did, more than 90% of the viewers were from the US, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the goal has been to create content for African youth, right? To empower and inspire them and also educate them. But I don't know where the gap is such that young people are really not interested in politics, because I think everyone needs to be interested in politics.
Well, sure. I mean, first of all, with regard to the United States, I would imagine that a significant percentage of that 90% are actually Black youth, quite frankly. I
Yeah.
mean, as you know, there are 40 million, 44 million, 45 million Black people in the United States. That's more than the population of Canada, for example. That's more than the population of many African countries. And of course, that bespeaks the length and toxicity of the African slave trade, which is something that has led many Black people, certainly not all, in the United States, to put a premium on history. Because if you're ripped from your homeland and sold into a different country to work for free and be treated abysmally, it's understandable why you have a hunger and a thirst for how this came about, which leads to an attempt to understand history.